What's up everyone, Jonas here, and in today's video we will have a look into one of my tracks and how I try to create one of my biggest bass lines. The core idea of this tune is to have this, massive bass line, but, this idea opens up a lot of challenges actually. On the one hand, mixdown wise, and also on the other hand, structure and arrangement wise, because I didn't want to start like immediately with the bass. And if you listen to the whole track, then I tried to create some contrast, and every time before the bass is hitting, to have something more like airy with chords, maybe bleeps, to emphasize like the really dark energy of the bass line and every time it's hitting. As mentioned, this track took me a lot of challenges and turnarounds and rethinking everything, because the bass is actually the center part and it's sitting everywhere, so I had to like mix down from there. And one of the more important challenges having this big bass line was the right kick drum, because I do want the kick drum to have punch and to, make everything more danceable and more like groovy, and not only like a tick over the bass line, but I wanted to have something, as said, with sub and like a full-on kick drum, but at the same time the bass was sitting like everywhere, so I needed a lot of mid frequencies and high frequencies on the kick drum to make it work somehow. And one funny thing is that the kick drum at the end has 6 layers, which is a lot in my opinion, and usually I wouldn't do 6 layers, but if you hear it in a bigger picture, then it makes sense. The first one is a really tiny one, more on the top section, let's say. Then up next we have a more mid part. Then we have some reverb. Then we have another higher layer with reverb and more mids. And the punch coming from the Nord drum. Let's hear it without the additional layers and only those 3 layers. In my opinion, it's not enough because it's getting like mumbled or muffled somewhere. So let's put on the other layers as well. And there, and there we have a lot more presence. We have like the full spectrum with the bass line, with the kick drum, and yeah, it's working really well in my opinion. The whole track is kind of like dembo, bay-funk inspired, more like the up-tempo version of like reggaeton UK techno, let's say, maybe. Let's check out the drums. To keep it a bit more like organic and lively and moving, I like to use kind of noise sounds or sounds that are, unexpected in a way, and I always try to create something that I haven't heard before. And in this case, it's one element called actually Elements, because I've used the Elements by Mutable Instruments for it, with a lot of modulation and triggering. And I think this one is really organic and makes it like, moving forward, but not with too much attention. As mentioned, I want to create a contrast to let the bass line shine a little bit more. And I've did this with multiple layers, and all in all, this whole tune is based on a lot of different bass styles combined, and some of them are playing really high, so I don't know if to call it bass, but the original was like something like a neuro bass and stuff, and then I pitched it higher and higher to have these layers working together. And one big friend, one thing I've used a lot in this is the Access Virus. To create tension in the beginning and leading into the first drop, the first time the bass line is coming. I'm working with different styles of the neuro bass, or maybe here, like a tom, actually, something. Yeah. And another thing I've used is, I think it's actually the fourth bass in this track, which is kind of detuned and everything. And it has the purpose or the function of kind of a bridge and to fill out the empty space, but create some tension. All right, so let's come to the more special parts where the bass is hitting and the reason why I made the tune. To create a really big bass line, I split it up into two layers. So one is the, let's say, big section with unison, where it's filling out the space and the mid frequencies and the high frequencies. And the other layer is, well, sub bass just in the middle and taking out like the mid and low frequencies right down here. This is the mid field. This is a recording because there are too many effects to make this project work, so I had to record it. But of course there's reverb on the highs and to give it a bit more room, and a lot of erosion playing with the amount to push the noise and to make it a little bit more aggressive. For my bass lines I'm usually using squares, but with a little like twist to it, because there you can have a lot of infos and a lot of harmonic contents and overtones, and to create like a really, let's say, tight and dense bass line, because otherwise it would be a little bit flat when you put it in unison, and then slightly, well, not working the way I want. And I did this one with Serum, the mid bass, actually both, but the sub is only, I think, sine and square combined. But the bigger part I did with Serum as well, and yeah, as mentioned, a little bit slightly weird looking square waves, because then you have more overtones to tweak. And in general there's a lot of modulation going on, otherwise this wouldn't work the way I wanted, which is here on the cutoff, on the pitch and everything. Yeah, and together they sound like this. And let's come to the next or final part, because I love chords and tracks to create some atmosphere, to create tension, to have like a variation of the mood and stuff. Let's call it like A and B section or a C section. And there are three layers. The first one is coming from the wavetable, which is like a little bit higher, but also with a lot of movement inside it. And the main part of the pad is coming from the OB6, which is a beautiful synthesizer. And there I've used the notch filter, so it has like this really nice moving sound from the lows to the highs, bandpass. It's, yeah, pure bliss in my opinion, and the right fit for this kind of track. And well, let's check out the wavetable at first. With two oscillators and LFO on the shape, and a little bit of pitch modulation. And to emphasize those little, let's say, octave jumps, I've recorded a different layer, the melody. And here we have the OB6. And both pads do kind of the same thing with the notch filter or with the in the wavetable we have like a parallel filter which is like moving, and together they sound like really, I don't know, everything is shifting. Like when you hear it with headphones, it's like moving down upwards, which is kind of cool, because I didn't want to have too much melodic content in the track, to have it more like really stripped down as a tool. That's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to listen to the full tune, then please check out the Bandcamp link or DSPs. If you have any questions or thoughts, then please share it in the comment section and I will get back to you. So thanks for watching and see you next time.
Yeah. Yeah.